Hello everyone, welcome to my 2017 Project Pan Porn finale. Before anybody freaks out, this is just my finale for the year. I will be bringing this project back in January, but I want to take a little break. In January, I will be starting my new Pan Matte palette, and I want this project to go alongside that one. But for the next little while, I'll be working on my Pan Matte palette from this year, my Burgundy x9 palette. So I just thought this would be a good time to wrap this project up because it was a very successful project and I'm very pleased overall with how everything went. So since my last update, I didn't choose a specific palette to work on. I'm sure it's no surprise, but I ended up using two of my newer palettes, my newer purchases, and those were two palettes that I reached for a lot. I didn't hit pan on any of them. They were brand new palettes, so it's no surprise. I was just playing around with them, and I've talked about both of these palettes quite a few times in various previous videos, so I will not go on about these palettes again because I feel like this is like the fourth or fifth time I've talked about them. I've just been using them a lot over the last month, and I've really enjoyed using them. The first palette, which I raved about on and on and on, is the Morphe 3502 palette. So this is a gorgeous palette. I've talked about it in my another palette tag. I talked about it in a swatch video, in my favorites. This is just my happy place in palette form. I just love this so much. I have a pretty decent dip in the gold shade. I feel like if I really tried, I could hit pan on that shadow just from sheer usage because I really love gold shadows. So I've just been playing around with this, gravitating mostly towards the gold when I did use it, but then there's some beautiful deep neutral shades down here, some really beautiful browns and like reddish browns, orangey browns. I love warm eyeshadows, and I especially love orangey tones, so this has just been an absolute dream for me. So I've had a lot of fun playing around with this palette. I also had fun playing with my Huda Beauty palette. This is the Desert Dusk palette. This beautiful, beautiful palette. I hate the glitters. I get so much fallout with them. It's so disappointing because I've wanted to use them all the time, like Twilight and Retrograde, and I use them quite a bit, but I just get so much fallout down my face, so it's not the greatest formula for me, but the matte shades and the shimmers in here are gorgeous, so I had a lot of fun using those. I've got a little bit of a dip in Cashmere, which is probably my favorite shade in the palette right now. I don't have anything like this. This is just like a taupey gray shimmer, and it's just so beautiful all over the lid, very neutral, but just a stunning shadow. I've used a lot of these neutral shades as well, these light matte shades, with my Burgundy x9 palette. So I've been able to combine things together and pair things together for daily usage, which is great. This also has a wonderful huge mirror, which I love when doing my eyeshadow. Everything looks so clear and beautiful, and it's just, I love packaging as well. It's very important to me to have good packaging. Like the Morphe palette is huge, but it's awkward and it doesn't have a mirror. And this is like my ideal kind of eyeshadow packaging, palette packaging, because it has such a huge mirror. And there's tons of shadows as well. It's not like there's just a couple of them, but everything feels really secure. This doesn't feel cheap. It has a good weight to it. So like, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. I'm being very repetitive, I know, but it's just been an absolute blast using some great new products. And then lastly, I have the infamous Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced. I had used this previously in my Project Pan Porn. I had hit pan on 2 shades, and I've managed to hit pan on 2 more shades. I hit pan on Peaches and Cream, which is a wonderful crease shade for me. It really blends things out very well. Again, I really worked that one with the Burgundy x9 palette, and I was using it a lot. And then there's the shade Luscious, which I became really obsessed with, and I was wearing like day after day. It's very unusual for me to repeat the same look. I tend to rotate things around, even if it's the same sort of general shape, which my day-to-day makeup tends to be very basic, but I will swap out colors and various other extra things. But I just got hooked on Luscious, and I just kept using it over and over and over again. It's not a special shadow by any means. Like, it's just a very warm peachy champagne shade, but just all over the lid, it's beautiful and it was so easy, and I could just wear a few different shades of lip colors with it, but I was just wearing this day after day after day, especially when I was trying to finish my matte Franken shadow for my Burgundy x 9 palette. I mixed 3 various sort of transition-y shades together, and this all over the lid with that shadow blending out all those little edges. Perfect, so easy. It really helped me go through that shadow very quickly. So I've really been loving this again. I keep reaching for it. I love all these shimmery shades in there. I haven't delved too far into this little section here. I have used Summer Yum and Charmed I'm Sure, these matte shades, but like the purples, the shimmery black, yeah. But the rest of it I really like. I just wish I could swap out some of those other shades, and then I think I'd be really happy with this palette. But I've enjoyed using this. That's all I can say. It's just been what I've gravitated towards, and that's what I allowed myself to do over the last few weeks. I just let myself choose what I wanted to choose. Mostly. Obviously, as I've said multiple times, I have been focusing on my Burgundy x 9 palette, so that's always been there. It's not like I've just used whenever I wanted and forgot about that palette, because I am still really trying hard to pan that one as well, and I have some really good progress, and I will be updating you guys very, very soon. Let me know if you would like to see a pan that palette update progress report really soon, because I can definitely do that for you guys. All right, so that is everything for my finale. I have hit pan on 28 eyeshadows during this project. 28 eyeshadows in 1 calendar year. I didn't know what I was getting into when I decided to do this project. I just wanted to pan a smaller palette and then still work on some other shadows, because last year I had worked on the Vice palette and I was still working on that a little bit the beginning of 2017. So it was a very difficult, challenging thing, but I do find it's relatively easy to hit pan on shadow, relatively, and then finishing it up is a whole other story. But this seemed to work really well for me, and I do feel like it was an overwhelming success. Pan on 28 eyeshadows, it's so crazy to even say that out loud, because I feel really proud of myself for doing that and for sticking with this project for the full year and finding a way to rotate through my eyeshadows that really worked for me, because that's something that I was struggling with for a couple of years. I just couldn't figure out what was the best way to balance what I had and what I wanted to do, and this just seemed to work the best for me, and I think the results speak for themselves. So I do have a playlist of all of my Project Pan porns right from the very beginning if you want to go check them out, and you can see all of the wonderful pan porn in each video. I have also done a 10 palettes I've hit pan on as well, which showcased some of the palettes I hit pan on during this project. So I'm constantly talking about hitting pan. It's just really exciting to me for some reason. I can't really explain it. If you're one of those people who are watching this video, you probably get it. So I don't think I'm alone here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of your support and guidance throughout this project as I was figuring things out. 2017 was really a year where I was sort of finding my footing, so to speak. And I really think I found it. So I think I'll be able to really put even more into it in 2018, and I'm really excited to see what I can do. Anyway, enough rambling. Thank you once again, and I hope I get a chance to talk to you soon. Bye for now.